Today, I want to talk to you about your grocery advantage when you go grocery shopping, how to approach finding the right foods that support your body when you're healing MS. So everything that we put into our body is either causing the fire and promoting inflammation or supporting your body and helping it heal. So today we're going to be firefighters. I'm excited to talk to you about this today because we all have to eat, and this is such an important part of your healing. So you might as well be buying the right foods that support your body. Food is actually half of my 12-week program that I provide to my clients when I help them heal their MS. And yes, MS can be totally healed. I've done it. I've interviewed so many others that have done the same thing, and I've also helped many others who have gone through my program who have also healed. Your doctors don't tell you this, unfortunately. It's all diet and lifestyle. And by the way, if you don't know me, my name's Adrienne Charlie. I'm a nutritionist. I'm a MS certified nutritional integrative health coach, author, and speaker. And I help people reverse their MS. So I want you to visualize you grabbing your shopping cart, and we're going to start shopping and finding foods that will start healing and support our body. And we're going to go over what sections to avoid and what aisles you definitely don't want to miss. So first, we're going to the produce section. So the goal is to fill our cart with biological signals that tell the immune system to calm down. If you follow the Walls protocol, which I did, I looked for fruits and vegetables that had color all the way through. So I'm talking about oranges, melons. Every single berry is on the table, and I'm talking about blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, and fruits that are colored all the way through, like pineapple, any of the citrus fruits, like limes and lemons that you can add to certain recipes. Or you can squeeze a little bit into your water glass to give it some flavor and to add to your electrolyte drink every day that you put a pinch of good salt into. And this is something else I teach my clients to do. Any of the tropical fruits, kiwi is so good for you. Peaches, nectarines. Now, if you're on the Walls protocol, Dr. Walls wants you to mostly eat the fruits that are colored all the way through. So things like pears, bananas, apples, for example, they don't have as much nutrients, but doesn't mean you can't have them as long as you eat plenty of the other fruits first. Now I'm going to talk about the veggies. And I first want to talk about dark greens, or red lettuce greens are on the table. The only lettuce I want you to stay away from, and it's not bad for you, it's just mostly water, and that's iceberg lettuce. So if you can grab one of those bins that have lots of dark greens in it, it could be spinach, arugula, Swiss chard, red leaf lettuce. It can be a spring lettuce mix. It can say power greens. Or if it's just spinach, that's okay. But I want you to mix it up all the time. Those are excellent to buy. Now, if you want to buy romaine lettuce or butter lettuce or other lettuces, that's fine as well. Now let's talk about the veggies. There's so many that you can choose from. But what I really want you to focus on is the cruciferous or the sulfur-rich veggies. And these are cauliflower, broccoli, asparagus, onions, garlic, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, mushrooms. Now there's a few more. If you want to Google all sulfur-rich veggies, you will get an entire list. But these veggies are so nutrient rich. They're going to put you on the healing path and help you heal much more quickly. Now, the other veggies that are also colored all the way through that Terry Walls wants you to eat are carrots, celery, any of the squashes, artichokes. I love artichokes. That's my favorite food. Zucchini, spaghetti squash. I love making spaghetti squash with a recipe that involves marinara sauce and grass-fed ground beef. And the spaghetti squash kind of acts as noodles. When you take a fork and you kind of scrape the inside after you cook it, it's really delicious. And any of the other squashes work. Acorn squash. Or if you want to make some really neat recipes with pumpkin puree, you can make some really great power balls with pumpkin. There's lots of recipes you could do. And then there's sweet potatoes, purple sweet potatoes. Think of all the different colors. I want you to focus on getting as many colors as you can. So purple sweet potatoes, red sweet potatoes. There's white sweet potatoes, and those are just as nutritious. I want you to mix it up every time you go to the grocery store. Figure out what kind of things you're going to make for dinner or lunch or breakfast, and incorporate all these really great veggies and fruits. All right, so now let's take our grocery cart and drive by the meat section. And I want you to buy any grass-fed beef you want for the week. I want you to get organic chicken. Anything organic is going to be best for you. Yeah, you can have pork once in a while. It still has nutrients in it and those amino acids that most animal protein will give you, which your body craves. Now, bacon is okay. Bacon, if you can buy it without nitrates or sugar, is best. You can buy paleo bacon. And sausage is okay as long as it doesn't have sugar or extra stuff in it. That's fine. Fish is fantastic. If you want to buy some salmon, if you want to buy anything that's wild caught is going to be best for you. Scallops or any hard-shelled fish is fine. Lobster, crab, shrimp, that's great. Any other fish I didn't mention is also, for the most part, going to be great for you. If you have a hunter in your family, these animals have been living in the wild. When animals eat things from nature, they're healthiest. And when we consume healthy wild animals, this is better for us. And so when you buy your eggs, and eggs are fantastic, if you can buy eggs from pasture-raised chickens, this is going to be better for you. You know why? Because the yolks are bigger, the chickens are healthier, and there's more vitamin E, D, and omega-3s in the yolks. And you'll find the yolks are more orange in color usually, and they're usually bigger, which means that they're coming from a really healthy chicken. Okay, so I think I covered all the meats. Now we're going to go to the dairy section. And this is what I have people on my program do. After their hair test results come in, some people do not have any allergies with milk coming from sheep, goats, or kefir, whole fat milk. Kefir is milk that's been fermented. And this is okay with a lot of people too. Now, people like myself have a high allergy to most dairy. And if you're doing the Walls protocol, she doesn't want you to have any dairy at all. When I was healing from MS myself, I took all dairy off the table. I took all gluten off the table and all sugar off the table. And I was able to heal most of my symptoms within 12 weeks. Now, the blind spot in my eye took a couple months later to heal, but it did because I didn't stop with the diet that was nutrient rich and supporting my body. Now, in the dairy section, I want you to buy yogurt that is not dairy based if possible. If you don't have a sensitivity to goat or sheep's milk, and this is casein 2, by the way, this is much better for you. And you know why? Because these animals usually are eating the right things. Your regular cow's milk, which is casein A1, is usually penned up. Sometimes they're not grass-fed. They're being fed oats and corn and other things that cows do not eat. So these are sick cows. And then many times they're given antibiotics to stop their diarrhea because they're not eating the right things. And then they're also given hormones so that they produce more milk. And this isn't good for them either. But the worst kind of milk is non-fat. So if you don't have a sensitivity to casein A2, this is the best kind of dairy that you can consume. Now, yogurt is usually off the table. And by the way, most yogurts have a ton of sugar in it. But there's a brand that I buy. It's called So Delicious, and it's actually coconut yogurt. And I buy it sugar-free. And sometimes I can buy it with a vanilla flavor. And it tastes just like yogurt. It doesn't taste like coconut at all, and I love it. Now, there's also some nut yogurts that you might want to try, sugar-free, and those will be good for you as well. Why most dairy is off the table for you. Now, we're going to go to the spice section. Spices are on the table. Spices are fantastic. We're talking about basil, dill, rosemary, oregano, all those spices, garlic powder, onion powder. These are staples for a lot of recipes. Okay, breads. I want you to stay out of the bakery section. I know that's going to be really hard for a lot of you because sugar is off the table and gluten is off the table. Now, you might ask, Adrienne, okay, how about if I buy some gluten-free bread? Now, that's okay, but read the ingredients. A lot of the ingredients have sugar and also a lot of items that make the shelf life of the bread stay on the shelves longer. So the longer the shelf life, the shorter the life of the human. I want you to remember that. Now, if you can go to a bakery and ask them if they have gluten-free bread and ask them what the ingredients are, that might be just fine. But there's a lot of bread companies, and I just found this out recently, that if it's a big bread company and many of them use a chemical and it starts with the letter L, and I can't remember the full name of it. It's called like L-cysteine or something like that. This is a chemical that has human hair, bird feathers, and there's something else that's in it that makes the shelf life of the bread longer. And this is not what you want. And this is something I had to Google. When I found this out, I thought, okay, there's no way. And I found out it was true. I couldn't believe it. So this might deter you from buying bread, and that's a good thing. Now, if you want to make gluten-free bread at home, you know, I've got a cookbook and I've got gluten-free biscuits in there. I've got gluten-free banana bread in there. I bake with gluten-free flours all the time, and these flours can be like tapioca flour, almond flour, coconut flour. There's a lot of different flours that are gluten-free out there that you can use and bake at home. And when you bake at home, you know exactly what ingredients are going into that item. Okay, so let's get back to the grocery store. There's a few other aisles that you're allowed to go in, and this is everything to do with canned veggies. So sometimes I will make an artichoke dip. I buy canned artichoke hearts. Sometimes I will buy black olives and put them in salads because I love them. There's a lot of veggies that you can buy in cans that are just fine for you as long as, you know, there's only water in it. I really don't want you to buy canned fruit because usually they add sugar to canned fruit. Here's another thing that you can buy and you can eat it once in a while. So dark chocolate. A little bit of dark chocolate. If you eat a square every day, that's okay. It has a teensy bit of sugar, not a lot, but it also has magnesium and zinc in it and some other benefits. So if you wanted to buy like semi-sweet dark chocolate chips, for example, you can make a trail mix out of it and put in some nuts. So I want you to stay away from peanuts, for example, because I followed Dr. Mark Hyman, and he says peanuts sometimes grow with mold on them. So I don't eat peanuts, but I also eat almond butter. Almond butter is on the table. It's one of my favorite foods. But nuts like Brazil nuts, pistachios, macadamia nuts, walnuts, those are all fantastic nuts. And if you want to make a trail mix and put a little bit of chocolate chips in it, and maybe even a little bit of raisins to help you with your sweet tooth, this is a great snack. And also seeds. If you want to buy some sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds have a lot of magnesium, and they're so good for you. They're also called pepitas. That is the inside of the pumpkin seeds. Hemp hearts is a seed. I love putting hemp hearts in my smoothie in the morning. Sometimes I'll just eat a spoonful of it just because they taste so good. Now, the other aisles I want you to go down is where you can find your healthy fats, because we need healthy fats. And you'll find these in different areas. So number one, avocado oil. That is my number one go-to when I'm cooking stir fries or making omelets or eggs or anything that I'm putting in a pan and cooking on the stove. Now, the other thing that you can use is coconut oil. Coconut oil also, like avocado oil, has a high cooking point or a high smoking point. What does that mean? It means that you can cook these oils, they're about like 400 to 450 degrees. I can't remember the exact number, but it's at least 400 degrees. And what that means is that you can cook these oils at a high temperature before they become toxic, right? So that leads me to talk about olive oil. Yes, you can cook with olive oil, but olive oil has about a 350 degree smoking point. So you can cook with olive oil and not extra virgin olive oil, regular olive oil on medium heat before it starts smoking or becomes toxic. So keep that in mind. Like, I never cook with olive oil at all. I only use olive oil to use in my dressings and recipes that are room temperature. Now, another good fat you might want to cook with, and I didn't go over this in the dairy section, but if you find butter from grass-fed cows, one of my favorite brands is Kerrygold. But keep in mind, if you definitely have an allergy towards dairy, you might not want to use butter at all. You might want to use either coconut oil or avocado oil, or you can also use any animal fat. Like tallow is beef fat or pork fat. You know, when I make bacon, sometimes I will save the bacon fat and cook my eggs in it. And I'll put that fat in the fridge. Do not use Crisco. Do not use margarine. Do not use any of those other seed oils. Do not use vegetable oil. Do not use canola oil or peanut oil or any of those other oils. They all are inflammatory. Now, if you take an allergy test and you don't have any allergies towards butter, then that's a great cooking source as well. That has a high cooking point. Now, most of the box foods is like a seed oil and sugar minefield. I want you to stay away from foods that have a long shelf life. And there's a lot of hidden chemicals and dyes in these foods that cause your inflammation. So I want you to stay away from these foods. So I hope you think of me the next time you go grocery shopping. I want you to fill your cart with foods that will support your health. And you can do it. It's going to be hard at first, but then after a while, this is going to be a way of life for you. And you're going to find recipes and foods that you're going to love. So until next time, I want you to have fun at the grocery store, and you'll hear from me in the near future. Would you like some support in healing your symptoms? You can totally heal. So if you want help, reach out. You can email me at info@nourishyourway.com, or you can go to the Work With Me page on my website, and that's nourishyourway.com. And you can get on my program and I'll help you get back to health. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to get your healthy life back.